Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Conspiracy Nexus episode number 26. I am your host, Paranormal Ripples, aka Ray, and I'm joined by Shay again.
Hello.
Right, and judging as you can see from the title, tonight's story isn't about aliens, secret bunkers, or cryptids. No. It's about something even more terrifying: state-sponsored terror, as we like to say. And what if I told you that NATO has helped create secret armies all across Europe, not to fight a war, but to control their own citizens through fear? What? Right. What do you think about that, Shay, so far?
It's interesting.
It is. This operation is called Operation Gladio. Sound like something say I was
Mm.
Cold War spy novel if you know what I mean, Gladio or Gladio.
No,
And
that's to be fair.
but yeah, it's real and it's been made until the 1990s when people have like once I uncovering shit about it. Officially, it was about resisting a Soviet invasion. Would you believe? But unofficially, that there's things that are murky and dangerous. So if you're going to enjoy this, hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And while I'm doing that, I'll put this across for all of us. Look at that. Put that right at the bottom for all of you. um, but yeah, and I just realised that StreamYard has given me my fucking grey colours. Are they trying to say I'm dangerous? uh, anyways, hello everyone who's just watching. Come and chat. Um, we don't bite hard. Anyways, but yeah, after World War Two, Western powers, basically the CIA, MI6, who you can think of, we started setting up stay behind units across Europe, which was kind of like a given, weren't it? Because after war, they would have to stay. They would want people to stay behind, wouldn't they?
Mm.
Like, and apparently though these were just guerrilla fighters trained and supplied to wage war in case Soviets rolled in and took over. And it didn't just but they didn't just wait around. These groups stayed and got involved with the local thing, and in places like Italy, would you believe?
Italia.
Yeah, and if you notice, if you know Italy's history, there was a bit of resistance towards Mussolini towards the end, weren't there?
Mussolini, Tuttolini. Yes. I never liked Mussolini. He looked a bit weird. He looked a bit funny. That's not even saying it as like a point that he was a bad person. I just didn't understand him. He always looked a bit weird.
He did. He looked a bit
There,
shifty. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there was another funny person who I'm not allowed to say because of what he done, but he looked
mhm,
weirder and did a lot worse things, but he somehow has more fame than Mussolini.
mhm. Yeah, and told us what's the name? Oh, what was that one? Oh, it was the one who was Well, it was
Ne
Mussolini, wasn't it? No, not Mussolini. The one who was in Africa, the African desert. It was also that one, wasn't it?
oh, no clue.
Um, um, I'm gonna quickly have a quick look. If I can find him. Not me, I can't find him, but there was someone that was like really shifty. I can't really think of him. Stalin obviously was one as well, weren't there? Well, he was another shifty character. But yeah, apparently, right. Right, hello everyone who's just tuning in right now. Let's get back on topic because I said about Italy. Does anyone remember Piazza Fontana? Who's watching this? Who's old enough to remember?
Huh?
Yeah, you might not be old enough to remember that. I'm not, but people might of
I
a
mean,
certain
I
age.
know about a certain German man.
Well, on the 12th of December 1969, La Banca Nazionale d'Agricoltura, right? Hello, Cam. Right, that is a place. 17 people were killed and 88 were wounded when a exploded. I won't tell you the actual thing because people. Yeah, and Grandma was, yeah. But yeah, Piazza Fontana was an infamous day in where basically I can't say the word because in case people got sensitive. But yeah, an explosion happened. I'll just say it like that. You think you
Was
know
it
what I mean?
was it nuclear by chance?
No, it was just a standard one. You know what we see nowadays
Oh,
in. But this was in Italy, if you remember.
oh yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of messed up, if you ask me. Hang on, I'll show you the headline from when it. Look, this was the headline. Look,
Oh shit, that's a pretty big kaboom.
it was like um. It went off in a bank in Milan, 1969. Obviously, if you couldn't understand what I was trying to say, it was a banker. But the public was told they was left wing anarchists that have done the bomb, right? But people were saying, but people have been digging a little deeper on it, even after all these years, and suddenly, it was more right wing. There was more disturbing elements tied to the Italian secret services and even possibly NATO connected networks, and that's where the phrase comes in, the strategy of tension. The idea the people are saying there was that to commit acts of terror, blame it on your enemies, swoop in for more control, keep the public scared and left destabilized. And does that sound familiar to anyone? Does that sound familiar to anyone?
Um,
Because that sound a little like no I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna upset anyone here, but IRA kind of shit.
mm,
Not because the IRA was all about terror, actual terror, weren't it? Not saying that
yeah.
it's the same. It's not saying it's like similar to the IRA. Everyone, I'm just saying it sounds like the IRA, but without you know the without them doing it for themselves. These are people doing it for purpose. As they would say. Um, Basically, the truth starts living out in 1990 about this terrible incident in Milan when the Italian Prime Minister Giulio Andreotti stood before Parliament and said, "Oh, by the way, Operation Gladio, yeah, it's real." The actual Italian Prime Minister came out and said this 35 years ago, and the fallout was massive. Judges started to reopen the cold cases, and one Judge Felice Casson linked Gladio to the 1972 Petiano bombing. The guy who confessed, by the way, Vincenzo Vinciguerra, flat out said it was part of a state-led manipulation campaign. And that's not just one rogue agent that was saying all this, by the way, everyone. It was a coordinated disinformation and violence backed by Western intelligence and framed as protection. So what are you thinking, Shay?
Sounds planned.
It does, doesn't it? But you can't tell me that stuff like this, you know.
I'm gonna turn my TV down.
You go, look. You don't know what this is. Look, the Pitiano massacre. Pitiano, look. May the 31st, 1922, this happened. And it was a car bombing. Well, a car explosion, if you want to be, you know. But yeah. And that's only 3 years after the Milan incident.
Strange.
Yes, very strange. And it's only when an anonymous call led 5 of the Italian of the Carabinieri to check a suspicious car, which turned out to be a car, and that exploded when the door was opened, and 3 of them were killed.
That's not strange.
Yeah. And look, there's a former Italian Prime Minister who was also an executive, look, when this bombing happened.
Interesting.
It is. It's like, why? You're saying that this is, you just come out and said about it all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone, if you're watching this. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Go and search this massacre or these massacres up and there, and tell me that they're not connected in any way. The same dodgy's going on, you know.
Mm.
And it makes you wonder though, if you're gonna this is in Italy, by the way, but how far would governments like your own government go to maintain control? Because I'm not rude. Look at our government when when a certain virus was going around.
We're not gonna talk about that.
No, but I'm just gonna say when a certain virus was going around, look how they wanted to be maintain control on people, didn't they?
Yeah, true.
But we always talk about the surveillance state, psyops, media manipulation, but people were dying here with by real explosions before, like basically advanced political agendas, and it's like it's recorded history, and it was happening in the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, and why should we all believe all of a sudden it just stopped like that? Because I don't think it stopped. Do you, Shay?
Nah.
Because I don't know. Well, because I'm not rude. This is the kind of thing, everyone. That if you're gonna like blame it on people. Hello, everyone who's just tuning in, by the way, and or watching on catch up. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. This is the kind of thing that if you're gonna tell me that it's not happening still, look at the wars we had. World War One was political, weren't it? Because of our it was basically, if you look at it, I think World War Two was kind of political because of how he was going in power. I'm not going to say his name, but how he was going in power and how he wanted to go in and take control of other countries, weren't it?
Mm.
The World War, well, basically the Gulf War in with Afghanistan and everything. That was basically based on oil, weren't it?
Mm.
Vietnam was political. Technically, there's no need for Vietnam to happen, but it happened, weren't it?
Yeah.
All these have been the Cold War. Now, hell, the Cold War you could say was basically political because everyone was getting scared of how the Soviet Union was gaining power behind the Iron Curtain. So why all of a sudden are we going to believe that something's stopping now, like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Jay?
It's a bit strange. I mean, because if you think all the wars that have happened, there's always been some form of reason behind them.
Yeah, exactly, Cam. The current war is also political. That's what I'm saying. And if you're telling me that it's not political, no, and it's based on an actual fear or something, it's bullshit. Because you're looking for history. Every time you see the wars like I just listed, going on, because it's due to trying to control as much of land as possible. Exactly. So why is it going to be stopping now where something like this is not going to be a thing? I'd look up Operation Gladio, everyone, and let me know what you think. But not before you hit that like button, obviously. But I want to try and get 5 likes on this video. Anyway, but yeah, it feels like more people awake to waking up, like wake up to the things behind the scenes. The governments are like, oh, you know too much. But it's only because at certain times they slip up and they say shit which they don't. Like I'm not even rude. As I said earlier, that Italian Prime Minister mentioned Operation Gladio and said it's real, and then judges started to reopen cold cases in America, not America, in Italy. I said that was America on my mind, I think. But Italy, cold cases in Italy. So why can't you know? You know what I'm trying to say, Shay?
Mm.
It's kind of crazy, you know. But yeah, makes you reevaluate everything, you know. Like
Yeah.
about this free world that everyone talks about. Is it really free? How much of it is really free or controlled by people? You know, it's like um look at adverts. Adverts are tailored to us. You can't go on the TV or radio without someone going, oh, like a travel advert. Like let's say the travel advert, right? I just watched like I don't know, Jet 2 holidays. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you see an advert like that about sun? You're gonna want to book an holiday, ain't you? Hey Shay?
I don't want to do a holiday.
Yeah, you'd want to book an holiday, wouldn't you? You'd want as soon as you see a Jet 2 holiday with them coming off the plane on a sunny beach, you'd want to book an holiday, wouldn't you?
Mm.
So why can't and then when you see a thing about the navy or army or whatever, people going, "Oh, your country needs you" or whatever, and you're in fit shape and you want to and you're like dedicated to your country. What are you going to do? Sign up for the army, ain't you? After seeing that advert, you know what I mean? So why
Mm.
can't it happen with everything? You know, why can't it happen like this way, where like governments do this to us? You know. But remember, smash the like button and support my channel, everyone. Drop your thoughts in the comments, please, because I'm not being rude. This has been a mind blowing for me. And do you think that these operations have really ended, or just changed names, or do they go under different like guises now? Share this episode with someone who basically loves their history and everything and conspiracies. Subscribe if you haven't already because we've got more. I've got more episodes coming out of everything. And I'm going to turn the notification bell on because you don't want to see what I'm going to be doing tomorrow for quite a very interesting episode of Would You Believe. I've got a very interesting episode of Secrets of the Stars coming tomorrow, so I think you'd want to subscribe for that and turn the notification bell on. And as always, keep questioning what you're told And remember that the scariest conspiracies are the ones backed by a paper trail. Because that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to give it to Shay to sign off and give you stuff. And then go on, Shay.
Well, I'm going to change it up a little bit. So before I begin shameless plug hour, I'm actually going to quickly follow up with something you just said.
What's that?
The scariest conspiracies always have a paper trail.
Mm.
For example, Auschwitz wasn't publicly known until after the war. And it was said that, oh, there's this place somewhere in this country where he's sending peoples. And they were like, oh no, it's a load of shit. But then it turns out not to be a load of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the Joseph Stalin stuff. But that's all for a different day. But
Yeah,
but yes.
And other stuff. There's other stuff around the world that you could say, like paper type thing. I'm not even rude. Like they say, history is only tells you so much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And now shameless plug hour. So to start off, we have Metal Panzer X, which I definitely haven't forgot about. Basically, War Thunder and enlisted stuff. That's all that channel's for. But then there's Eagle Vision Gaming, which I really need to do a video on. That's more variety, so you'll probably see me playing Roblox on there, Assassin's Creed, you know, some Assassin's Creed.
Some Roblox, maybe.
Yeah, some Roblox. Hell, might even try and throw a bit of Red Dead Redemption in there. But yeah, that is it.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. Don't like to smash that like button for me. And yeah. Thank you everyone. Take care and big love to you all. Remember, the scariest conspiracy start with a paper trail. So follow everything up. Bye bye everyone.
Bye bye.